we go. And boom, we are live. Welcome in, everybody. The Dragons, Beer Club, Hot Dude Army, wherever you're watching it from. Welcome to the DragonShip with RP Thor. I am joined today by our man, Thor. How you doing, man?
Skull, you savages out there. Good to be here. AJ, doing great. Look at all these wonderful dragons here on the DragonShip. We're going to have a good time today. You know, we are that rising tide that lifts all boats.
Yes, we are. And we are also joined by Mike Steele out of Vegas. How you doing, brother?
I'm fantastic. I'm a little tired today, but it's for the best of reasons because of last night.
I can tell you already.
You dirty little doggy.
It's good.
You dirty little doggy.
And Glenn's muted, so I'll skip over him. Let's go right to Paul. How you doing, man?
I'm doing outstanding, dude. Just got done hosting Rule Zero. We were slamming on the whammon, which is always fun to do. So
awesome. And then Glenn just dropped out. Well, let's go to Nuke. How you doing, brother?
Good. I'm good. Just was on Paul with Paul on Rule Zero. It was fun. We talked about dunking on the women. I guess golf. We talked about golf. We had a conversation.
We talked about golf tips today. Golf tips.
And they're so sweet. I can see them. It's wonderful.
Yes. The beautiful nids.
Yeah, the beautiful mids.
That was the least mid I've ever seen, Paul.
Dude, they're all mids, dude. They're all
Well,
mids.
I was gonna say,
yes,
I love
but-
Paul's statement with that they're all mids and everyone freaks the fuck out.
I'll just
fun
say
of-
this. Migs are magnificent.
Yeah. Everybody just wants a beautiful mid to call their own, right? That's
Yeah. A mid here, a mid there. You know, here a mid, there a mid.
Yeah, I don't
Everybody's
think people
never
understand.
mids.
6s and 7s are technically mids as well.
True.
it's all subjective.
Yes,
It's all
on the
subjective.
credit card,
And
you're right.
without makeup, aren't they all mids? Right? I mean, come on.
Upside down with the light off in the bedroom. All the same.
Yeah, they're all sisters upside down. Right?
My dad always said, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They all
So,
look light with the light off and upside down, son. Don't worry about it.
It's just like we're all the same height when we're sideways.
And they're all mid from the back.
The humanity. You just gotta love humanity. What a
We're
great.
great. We're terrible. We're also pretty great too. It's pretty awesome.
Well, I would like to think
International
we're all
Women's
great
Month.
men that are really effing bad boys.
Mhm.
Hey, girls like a
we're all
bad boy, you know?
degenerates in one way or
Yeah.
another, guys.
How dare you?
That's what
Way beyond a degenerate. I'm a total perv.
that's what I tell nurse chick all the time. I say, girl, you know I'm a bad boy. You know that.
Yeah.
I'm not a good man. I'm not a good man. Sorry.
Not
You're not
nice
a good
guy.
man.
No.
I'm a good person. I'm not a nice guy.
Yeah.
But
And now we are finally joined by Glenn Lawrence.
Yeah, you get your
Sounds
shit
like
figured
it's
out.
having
now
Right.
we
technical
can finally
difficulties.
talk about International Women's Month. Fine.
No, it's International Hose Month.
Oh.
You guys better support these hoes.
Glenn, down on the level a little, please.
Guys gotta support.
Glenn, is
the
this
hoes.
your tactic to win
It's
the
International
president of
Hose
the Manosphere?
Hold on, I can't hear you guys.
All right.
I
Talk
can't hear you
louder.
right now. All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is this your tactic to win the president of the Manosphere by pandering to the women?
Man, look, everybody in the Manosphere is pandering to these hoes, so I might as well get in the game too.
Get some immunity. Get some immunity.
Look, think about it. The trad cons are doing it. Ladies, your sins are forgiven. Your hoish ways are washed away, right? You know, the society's doing it. Look, ladies, you ain't going to prison for crimes. No, you're hoes. We love you. So I'm just trying to get on the grift, man. I'm just trying to make it's my new grift.
Try to get some of them internet ducats. Right?
Yeah, man. I'm trying to get I'm trying to get some of that YouTube love from the hoes. You know, they're the ones that like spend all the money.
It's all about that Google money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta get those Elon bucks.
Thanks, Paul.
No, I don't want them Elon bucks. I want these hose bucks. The hoe bucks. It's like Starbucks, but better.
Happy International Women's Month.
That makes
Oh, what
sense.
was the one nuke you posted with the parallel parking diagram?
Yeah. That
Oh,
one did
fucking
pretty
savage,
well.
dude.
It's-
Oh, that was-
that
You know
one
what?
did
You
pretty
guys should
well.
ask Laurent. You guys should ask Laurent about the background that I made. It's called The Ambassador of Toxic Masculinity. Ask Laurent.
Oh, yeah?
We had a meeting recently and he knows what I'm talking about.
That's a better title than President of the Manosphere.
It is
I'm telling you.
Ambassador of Toxic Masculinity. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
given that amazing title by Laurent.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to give him
Thought,
some
uh,
shit. He's supposed to be here sometimes. He wants to be.
I was gonna say, I thought Donovan Sharp already had like the ambassador to toxic masculinity title.
Did he?
I don't think so.
I have
Yeah,
never
Mike-
heard
Mike would
anybody
know.
but myself be called that. So, and I'm not just being biased, but
Oh no, he's your
Glenn
daily dose
Bias?
of toxic
Never.
masculinity.
yes, daily dose of toxic
And
masculinity.
misogyny.
Yeah.
He's like
exactly.
Dr. Toxic Masculinity.
Which is all true.
Yeah.
Not. No, Donovan's good.
Who's
I
daily-
was just texting
There
him
it
right
is.
now too.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just
Official
me.
driving school.
funny,
Parallel
I
parking
remember-
there.
I remember
Happy
when we
International
started.
Women's Month.
Oh.
Like, you know, I have a plea, but you know what? We'll save that to the end. AJ, I don't want to ruin your show.
Hey, it's all our show. It's all for
Oh,
Thor.
Yeah, but you did work. I could go on a
I did
rant.
not do work. Actually, Hudson
Hey
did
now,
more
don't
work
poke
than me.
holes in the ship, Glenn. Remember, we take care of our ships.
I know. That's why I said I'm not going to say anything. Be
Speaking
quiet.
of HUDs, where the hell is he? He helped
Yeah,
put
no
the outline
kidding.
together and didn't even
The-
show up
the-
today. That degenerate.
This
Look,
bomb ass
he's-
he's handling a lot of gay dating coach stuff and
Oh.
baby, single mama dating coach stuff.
Okay.
All right.
What's funny
Hey,
is
he's not-
he's
he's
active
not-
on Telegram right now.
Guys, he's not. I didn't see a link posted in the Dragon Ship. He's not.
I
He's
posted a
not
link
in
to
the
the Dragon Ship.
co-host. Did you? Okay.
Yeah,
And he
posted a
knows.
share-
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll
way to
send it
go,
to him
AJ, for
directly.
dropping the ball.
Well, I didn't
Wow.
know because I didn't look.
Wow, AJ.
Only way he can get in.
Wow, you
Hold
had one
on.
job.
Hold
One
on,
job.
I'll send the invite link to him directly.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm not going to do it now. Now that
Like,
now that
no.
you're sending me a link after you guys started the show, fuck off. I'm not doing that.
I think he is too busy with his robot.
He
Dude,
should have
I'm
asked.
failing at core competencies and tools,
Yeah.
which is today's
One of the core
topic.
competencies you need as a man is to be able to send fucking links to people so they could join your stream.
Hey, man.
Or at
I don't
least
have a
have the
robot
balls
that's
to say
magically
you didn't
sending out
send a
50
link.
million
Send it.
emails under copywriting crap.
You
that I
know
get from
what?
you all
That
the time,
sounds
Paul.
like a woman excuse, and I understand we're in International Women's Month, but you don't need to sound like one.
I gotta go change my tampon, okay?
Thank you. Please do.
I don't know. I'm gonna
There
show.
we go. Is that better?
Oh.
There you go.
It'd be better
Sandwich
if you
background.
had
Perfect.
Are you
golf
wearing
pits
the
making you that
circa?
sandwich.
Hey, I want
Like,
to
are you
shout out.
wearing-
I want to shout out the chat, man. Looks like we got P Dubs in there. Rachel Wilson, like your stuff. Good deal. Good deal. I see people in the chat. See quite a few of them. It's nice to have the chat in there. A few other folks going in there. Bradley Jones, and that's
The
awesome.
governor.
Keep the chat going. Filipino working at CVS. What a stud.
Rachel Wilson, one of the few women that actually deserves to be honored in International Women's Month. Thank you very much. Shout out to Rachel. I see you.
Good to have you on board, Rachel. The Dragon
Hi,
Ship.
Rachel. Hi, Rachel.
You know what? I bet you Andrew honored his woman for International Women's Month really well. He was probably like, woman, I need a shot and a sandwich.
And a cigarette.
Hey, I
a
caught a
cigarette.
clip
He
of
probably
Andrew
gave her
for
a
the
back
first
shot
time.
afterwards.
You know, we interacted with him on Rule Zero. It was really cool.
Mhm.
But
Oh, yeah.
I don't follow a whole lot, but I actually caught a couple clips of his making some really reasonable arguments on with absolutely ridiculous feminist philosophy. He did a really good job, man. I was like very impressed. That was
Now,
very
look at that, guys. Look
Yeah.
at that. She's
Look at
doing
that.
the dishes.
Dishes.
Yeah.
That right there. That's why she deserves an award for International Women's Month. Everybody give her a round of applause for being a real woman.
here. I'm gonna do this just because of that.
Dude, you should have hit her with the Elenas.
Oh, now
That's for the other. That's for the other.
we can say you guys got it. You can do it. Yeah.
Oh man.
What we got today, AJ?
Today, we're going to discuss core competencies that men should have and tools that they should have or know how to use if they don't have them, such as, like, do you guys know how to change a flat tire? Hell, change your oil? Operate a chainsaw? Basic stuff like washing your ass? Let's get into that.
It is a
Yeah.
core competency.
Yeah. And one thing I can say as a guy who does a lot of work in his garage, you can never have enough 10mm sockets of various sizes and shapes.
Or 9/16.
10
You
and
need
8.
you need 8s, you need 10s, and you need a 9/16. We need like 10 9/16s because those go missing all the time.
So I got
Hey.
a funny story about that nuke actually on the boat because most of the submarines fasteners are 9/16. A-gang would always
yeah.
steal them from RC div.
Yep.
So I had supply order 14mm instead because 14 and 9mm are the same size.
Yeah.
And then they'd come back to our
smart.
toolbox and they would see the 14 mils and be like, oh, and then run away.
Nice.
You gotta outsmart them. That's a core competency, being smart. outsmarting your enemies.
And it's our innate like proclivity as a man to be a problem solver. So that right there is a core competency in and of itself.
And out planning them, that's for sure. Yeah.
But AJ, let's be real here. There's only one tool every guy needs.
A hoe.
Hose. Those are pretty useful.
They are very useful at times.
Yeah, if you want to plant seeds, they're very useful.
I see what you did there. I see what
I like that. I like that. I like that what you did right there. See?
Hey.
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 Yeah, honestly, yeah, that's like that example used there, AJ, is just like a really good example of how men should take care of their problems, right? Instead of bitching to the leadership and then making it a whole big thing, and now we have more rules and HR gets involved or whatever thing happens. Instead, you're like, okay, I'm going to keep this at the lowest level and I'm going to solve it. And I'm going to not make excuses. I'm just going to use my intelligence and my craftiness. I'm going to order all these screws and fake them out. And guess what? I killed it. I squashed it at the lowest level, and I get to have a laugh, and I get to feel satisfied because I solved the problem. So that's a really good example of that's a great way of handling that.
So I would like to start by going around the horn, see what guys have for like core competencies and tools they believe that all men possess. Once again, guys, this isn't saying you're not a man for not having these. This is the RP in general, men trading notes, swapping notes, seeing what works for some guys and what doesn't work for some guys. So let's go around the horn. You want to go, Thor, or
Sure, I'll do that. I won't go into the 7 skills of a dominant masculine presence, but if there is a priority, it is a man's primary agency. That's a problem solving. Problem solving is a man's primary agency. Without that, he doesn't really have any. And there's a whole lot that goes with that. You know, most people's approach to problem solving is they see a problem, they start thinking solutions. It is a skill. And a skill that has to be refined. It has to be acquired. And it's typically when you have good problem solving skills, both emotionally, empirically, and, you know, physically. You guys talked about having your wrenches. That's a problem solving skill. That's a tool to aid in problem solving, right? Having a welder, building things. Those are all problem solving things. So I would say if I was to prioritize, you know, what would be my core competency would be problem solving, and then maybe better time management as a distant second, because that's precious for all of us. But for a man, problem solving.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What about you, Mike? What do you got?
Oh, I'm going in today. I'm going in. I'm channeling Glenn Lawrence right now. Guys,
Oh shit.
a
Here we go.
lot of y'all out here going straight from your mama's house to your girlfriend's house, and you don't know how to do this shit in between. All right. There's this thing called home management. You got to know how to do your own laundry. You got to know how to cook your own food. You got to know how to fucking dust and vacuum. You got to know how to do your own shit. Yes. Amen.
Amen.
So, guys, learn how to do your own shit. You need to be on your own for like a good 5 to 8 years with no woman taking care of you. So you know how to do your shit, and you know how to do it your way, the way you like it. So when your woman comes into your life, you show her the way you like it. Not the way mama did it for you, because now you got mama issues, and she's not going to be with a guy who's got mama issues and wants mama 2.0. No, mama 2.0 and a good damn woman are two different things, and you guys need to sort that out. I'm done.
Wow, that's good. The Glenn Lawrence impression. I mean, no. That's very good.
That's all good.
I'm going to channel my inner Mike Steele. Okay.
Oh God.
So guys, you guys really need to know how to color coordinate your outfit, right? Like if your socks and your scarf does not match, what are you doing? You're like, so last season. And if you're wearing bright, loud colors, it doesn't allow the feng shui of the room to actually fit. Okay, you're too loud in your clothing colors, and the house colors is dim, dull. You have to match. Okay. You know, you got to have nice fluffy pillows. If you don't have nice fluffy pillows, bitches are not going to want to suck dick. They're not going to get on their knees if they don't have nice fluffy pillows. That's why we have the fluffy pillows.
I call bullshit.
Mike, did I do a good job?
You got to have a pillow, because you don't.
Okay, a pillow. I'm sorry. I did my best. I tried my best. Okay. No, in all seriousness, I think guys need to have it's a mindset of it doesn't matter. It has to get done. It doesn't matter. Like when we're in the military, shit is going down. It doesn't matter what's happening right now. This has to get done. And you have to just get it done. You know, nobody cares enough to take away your pain, and nobody can. So you just got to get it done. You know, at the end of the day, that's what matters. Just get it done.
Yeah. But Glenn, you were in the Air Force. How often does shit actually go down?
Listen, okay.
No, they go down on each other in the Air Force.
Oh, Last time I checked,
You would
we didn't
know,
have a
Mr.
member
Neighbor.
of the village people dress up like us. Bunch of little sea
Because
biscuits.
nobody wants to be like the
Bunch
Air
of
Force. That's
seamen.
why.
Yeah, but the Air Force does wear hats with farts and darts on them.
Hey, I liked the chair force. We kill our people by our targets by pushing buttons.
So
The
don't
Air
say
Force.
This
I
is the
did.
Navy, though. Honest, let's be honest. Like we're
Yeah.
not swashbuckling anymore.
Guys, the only thing that you're
I dropped-
swashing is your. Never mind. I won't say that. It's not really friendly.
Watch,
I power the
buckle,
vessel
buckle.
that drops warheads with megatons from the sky with the accuracy of 3 freaking feet.
Yeah, while you guys are swabbing dicks, I get it. Go on.
What about you, Paul? What do you got going on? Or what are your thoughts?
Core competencies for a man is budgeting and paying your fucking bills on time. There you go.
That's pretty good.
That's
Yeah.
a good one.
Because you are a resource provider, whether you like it or not, right?
Even if it's just for yourself. I mean, do you want to be the guy that's
Yeah.
like dodging creditors and shit? I worked with this guy. I used to work for a pharmaceutical filter membrane plant after the Navy. I was
That
a
sounds
rinse line
erotic.
operator. I was a rinse line operator, and there was this guy there where he had creditors calling the office all the time trying to get a hold of him because he had all these outstanding debts and bills and shit, and he was just ducking calls all the time. And I'm like, bro, pay your fucking bills, dude. Like it's, and I was like in my early 20s at the time. I was like, dude, pay your fucking bills. This guy was in his like, I don't know, 40s or something. And he was ducking creditors. I was like, how do you live your life like that? Where you have like a negative credit score and you can't just pay simple bills and stuff like that. Because you'd much rather go spend your money on partying and stuff like that than taking care of what you need to take care of and then going out and doing that stuff and budgeting for that. God damn, don't even get me started on this.
Because if you're gonna be
Irresponsible
broke,
nature.
if you're gonna be broke and go out and party or be like some homeless surfer dude, at least be debt free and broke.
What's it? It's like
So
Wow.
you
No,
happy?
that Katy Perry song.
You're really not broke though.
The Katy Perry song where she's like, shout out to all you guys that are paying for bottle service with your rent money. Like, fuck off, man. If you're doing that, you are a loser. You are a loser trying to pretend to be a top G, dude. You're not. Pay your fucking bills.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul, I get it. I'll send you that invoice. All right. Thanks, man. I know
thank
you've
you.
been trying to call me for the last week and shit, you know.
I was trying to be subtle,
We all
but you owe me
Paul
money.
money. That's the problem. Everyone owes Paul money. He's trying to.
And he's just venting. He's being subliminal right now.
pay my money.
Paul, who hurt you?
Oh, everybody drink.
Everybody
Everybody drink.
All right.
Oh, now call me
Wait,
bald.
you're
Now call me
bald though, Paul.
Bald,
You're,
Paul.
I don't even
There it
know what
is,
you say.
everybody.
You're short and ugly.
Oh,
You're
there it
old.
is. There it is. I'm old.
You got that gray
Come
beard.
on now.
Hey, who said something about gray? I'm gonna kick you in the dick. Don't you leave our grays alone.
Hey, I'm gonna have to talk to Paul about shaving my head here pretty soon, or should I leave it patchy? What do you think, guys?
No. Shave that shit, dude. Get a
Shave
shave
it.
shaver.
I gotta get
Mohawk,
some
man,
advice on that.
mohawk.
I mean, I used to
Mohawk.
use some buzzer, but I'm
We're
thinking to
shaving
get-
it. We're
I
shaving
want
it
the
and getting
full
it
shine.
tattoo.
I
Here.
want the full shine, you know. I want it to be blinding. So
That's
Like
why I
a
like
rainbow
Skull
ad.
Shaver. It's not a blinding shave. It's actually, you know.
oh, is that the pit bull? Is that what you use?
Yeah, I use the here. I'll drop a link to in the chat,
Right.
guys. For Skull Shaver, they are an affiliate.
Oh yeah,
Is that-
send it to me.
Is
Yeah.
that the pit
There you go.
bull?
I dropped it in the chat there.
Might need a new one eventually.
I like them, and they have we're going off on a tangent here, but they have a subscription plan where they replace the blades every, like 60 to 90 days, whatever you want.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's really affordable. It's the best electric shaver I've found.
Okay,
I also
good.
have a Remington. It's not as good as the Skull Shaver.
Yeah.
We got a super chat here, guys.
Sound drop. Here you go. Where am I?
Rusty Fuel with the $1.99. Hose cost more than Snap-on dollars. I don't know what that means.
I think maybe
Yeah.
Snap-on tools.
Snap-on tools.
Wait a
Literally,
minute.
They're expensive as fuck.
Literally, you have to
Aren't
sell your.
they
first
kind of the
born
same
kid just
thing?
for a
Both of
freaking
them?
wrench.
Aren't they the same thing? They both snap on. Maybe I misinterpreted that. or is
Nah,
it just
So for the audience that
Did
doesn't
you
know,
say
the
snap on or
tools,
strap on? That sounded really gay.
I guess they're both
Same, same.
snappers or snap. The tools are tools.
And
both
shout
snap
out
on.
to our man in France. Bonjour, Monsieur Chouk Le Peintre.
Oh,
Yeah. Let's go ahead, Nuke. What's your core competence or tool?
Self-education. You don't like after you leave.
God damn,
after you
Nuke
leave-
hit us with a fucking nuclear bomb of
Yeah.
core competencies.
Like,
Yeah.
come on, Nuke. Why do you have to be that guy?
Sorry.
Just have the best idea ever. Fucking
Like, come on,
No,
just
Ryan's
everyone's
round
thinking
the
it,
whole
I'm just
thing.
saying
Is he
it.
wrong though? I mean, I don't
I'm
think
just-
he's wrong.
I
Nuke,
think
go get a
something-
Hawaiian shirt and just call yourself Ryan now.
Well,
You got a gold
Well-
star. We get it.
well, that's what I'm saying is like, you know how the people complain, we're like, well, in high school they didn't teach me how to do taxes or how to balance a check. I'm like, dude, but you have the Library of Alexandria in your pocket. You have
Google it.
this. You have everything you could ever want or known to man, and you can't figure out like how to live. Like if I need to replace a part on my car, I can go on YouTube and there's a step-by-step guide for the make and model and the year. You know, and if not, there's a forum somewhere. And if not, you can go ask somebody. Like self-education, a lot of people struggle because they just want an easy answer, right? And also like don't like manage the information you receive, right? If you go to the internet and you want to learn how to do something, try to find people that care about that thing that you're doing. Don't go to people that have never done it and take info from them, right? Understand that not everyone has a vested interest in educating you. They want to get you on their side, use propaganda to get you on your side, right? So if you get caught up in propaganda from the government or anything, that's your own fault, right? You have to grow up as a man. You have to be able to have that intelligence to be like, hey, this is bullshit. They're trying to sell me something, or hey, this guy probably is the real deal, right? We all get tricked sometimes, but at the end of the day, self-education. If you don't know how to cook something, but you enjoy eating it, you got to teach yourself. And there's plenty of resources. There's no reason not to be able to do things. And this goes for men and women, right? If you're a woman today and you don't know how to cook, whose fault is that? It's your own fault, because learning to cook is so easy. Yeah, well, learning to cook is so easy. If you don't know how to change the lights out on your tire, or rotate your tires, or how to change a tire, which I've walked in on men and women struggling to change a tire, and I had to help them through the whole thing. And I'm like, this is dangerous. This thing could fall right on your foot if you don't know what you're doing. Why don't you look up a YouTube video for 5 minutes about how to change a tire? Self-education is very important. So, yeah.
I want to ask Nick a
the
question
proper
about
torque
that.
pattern.
Nick, I want to ask you a question about that, maybe the panel, just to get an idea, because I think what you touched on, self-education as a discipline for every man, is so important and so overlooked.
Mhm.
In my experience with all the consults I've done and things like that, it seems like the guys that don't read or listen to much have a much more difficulty grasping the concepts of self-discipline. And I'm just curious, because as a young man, I was a huge reader, but in the traditional format. I've shifted to audio recently, but part of mine is I always recommend these books or these things because taking action, reading, and self-educating seems to be a really effective core competency with men. There's so much out there. When you touched on, you have the Library of Alexandria at your fingertips. Even before the internet, this was accessible. You're probably too young, but the proliferation of free libraries in America was huge. When I was a kid, we didn't even have the internet, but I could get access to anything. It was
And they would
absolutely.
encourage you. Yeah, they would encourage you. They were like, come to the library. We literally have free movies and everything you could ever need. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like-
And on top of that, I was encouraged to read, and so it became, even fiction would inspire me. I mean, I know it inspires some of the great geniuses too. Whatever you think of Elon Musk, big fan of some of the older, really deep thinking sci-fi stuff like Foundation and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy for humor, things like that. And they're actually very, very deep thinking and educating, disciplinary type of stories. Anyway, what was your thoughts? Were you a big reader, or how did you acquire this discipline and this core competency of self-improvement and learning things? I'm curious about what the other guys too, because I think everybody here really takes this on themselves pretty effectively.
Well, I always wanted to understand the universe around me as a kid. I was a big science nerd as a kid. I love astronomy. I'm like, why is the sun in the sky? Like, what keeps the universe together? What's gravity? What's this? I just had a lot of questions, and I always wanted to know how the universe worked. And then also as a kid too, I realized like, hey, when I play video games, I go at very long lengths to understand the how to beat this video game as a kid. When I was like playing Sonic or Super Mario, right? As a kid, I look up guides, I practiced. I'm like, why don't I do that with other things, right? And it helped me as a kid realize that, hey, at the end of the day, no one's gonna teach you everything. You got to teach yourself. Your parents can only know so much. Your teachers don't really know that much anyway. They can only teach you what they're specializing in, right? And they're not always going to teach you what you need. They're going to teach you what they think you need, right? So, and then I joined the military, and being a nuke is a lot of self-taught, right? You got to go study stuff. Most of being a nuke, after you leave, when you get to the ship, you got to self-teach everything. There's people that will teach you, but they don't have time. So you got to learn about this stuff yourself, right? So you got to be good at finding the right information in the right book. And sometimes when you learn about this stuff, like when you don't know how to run a nuclear plant, they don't even care so much that you know the information. They want to know how you found it and where to find it. In case an emergency goes off or something bad happens, you know which book in a volume of like 30 books to find that particular system and how it works and how to fix it or how to fix the situation, right? And that's what I tell guys, like, the internet's very vast. The internet has plenty of information, right? If you spend enough time on the internet, you'll find porn of anything, right? Rule 34, the internet, there's always porn of something. Or if you spend enough time on the internet, you'll learn a lot of cool stuff, right? On YouTube is literally a video tutorial on literally anything you ever want to do. If you want to learn how to play piano, hey, most of my piano skills were from watching people on YouTube play piano, right? And same thing with like women. Like if you want to see how women work, look at guys in the field. I know that's maybe it's a little performative, right? But just seeing people interact in real time, not in movies, not in cartoons and stuff like that, like real time, how people work and how the world works, and just paying attention, you're going to be so much far ahead because everyone wants the easy, simple answer. What's the fastest way to get muscle? There is no fastest way. Progressive overload, protein, and get sleep.
Trend.
That's it.
And trenbolone.
Trend.
Yeah. And then
Trend.
if you're
Trenbolone, guys.
Yeah.
is the same.
Dr. Trent Lawrence, he has to plug.
I don't know what like Nuke is talking about. Like it's trend. That's it.
So that's all I got to say on that.
I agree with that, Nuke. I think it's so underrated because when you start doing those things, even learning the smallest things is that foundational thing we talk about, which is taking action in any situation. As you take that action, I think it's underrated that when you study like that and you do that, you touched on a thing where you're actually changing reality around you because of the knowledge you're putting in your head and then taking action on it. Even if you don't think you're taking action on it, it's just one of those most amazing things that happens slowly over time. What are your guys' thoughts on it consuming this information, reading the internet? I suspect all of you do this. This is a very core competency.
I would say so. When I was a kid, my dad used to say, "Anything you want to know, you can find it in a book." And what I teach my kids is the same thing. Anything you want to know, you can find it in a book, or I add on YouTube to that. But when it comes to like, let's say like red pill content, right, or self-help content of any kind, one problem I do see guys have is they get addicted to the self-help content and they don't take action, and they end up reading like, one book 10 to 15 times, shout out to Corey Wayne, or they'll read all the books but they don't put any of it into action. Well, if you don't take what you're learning from the material, whether it's YouTube, podcasts, books, or whatever, if you don't take that information and apply it, it's just mental masturbation at that point. So the key there is what you're alluding to, Thor, which was taking in the information and then taking action on it. That's the real core competency that you have to do with this information.
Yeah, the hammer doesn't swing itself, does it, Paul?
No, it doesn't. No, you got to get a girl to help you swing that.
I
swing that hammer. You know what I mean? Nuke knows what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Mike, what about you? Or, AJ, what about you? I mean, You're nuclear
here's some
Navy too. You're no
self-taught for you.
slouch, you know?
Right here's some self-taught for you. This is the cam girdle for my car right now.
Yep.
Because I have an oil leak. That's actually like right in this area. It is off the car. I am not an auto mechanic. I have learned how to do this all on my own. So
Right
yeah,
on,
you'll be
brother.
surprised. You'll surprise yourself what you can do if you just look like you're smarter than you think. It just the internet makes you stupid if you look at the wrong stuff. You got to look at the right
No,
stuff.
it's the difference.
like both my camshafts are sitting on a tire in my garage right now.
The difference between, like, you know, people that actually want to do something and people that don't want to do something is the people that want to do something will fail a million times trying to figure out the answer and find and look for the answer. And the people that don't want to do anything, they complain about not being taught or nobody helping them to do it. Like learning, like Nuke was saying, are you going to take the initiative and be your own success? Are you going to lead yourself to success by taking the initiative? Or are you going to complain about all the odds that were against you and all the, you know, like that? Because that's easy. That is really easy. You know, like it's so easy to fall into a victim mentality and be like, well, my dad never taught me how to be a man, so that's why I just became the man that my mom taught me. And you know, I rather complain about my dad not being there and telling you that's my problem rather than doing what I need to do to learn how to be a man. Or I don't know how to change the oil because my dad left that when I was 2 years old. Okay, you could cry about it, or you could do something about it. You know,
that's a good one for sure. One of these days we'll have to do an episode on ego protection because it feels so good to be able to protect that ego, and it's super easy, you know, to do it, and yet it doesn't really do much for you. Yeah, you're right on.
And
Glenn, were you a reader growing up? What did you do? How did
actually,
you do your self-help? Yeah,
a lot of
you
my
went to
self-help
Bible
was like-
school.
I
Went to
did go to
Bible
Bible
school.
school. Like that was probably the most I've ever read in my life.
Yeah.
During college. Well, take that back. I have read a lot of scripts, but I was not a good reader growing up. And I remember, like, I got so tired. Like, you remember in class that the teacher would like, okay, you read this paragraph, and then you go down the line, right? I hated my time because I wasn't a good reader as a kid.
Yeah.
And I got made fun of, and I was like, you know what? I remember spending one summer just like going to the library and reading. And like listening to like there were like those book clubs and people were sitting there reading a book. I joined a book club.
Oh.
Okay, it was about like it was one of those
What did you get? Like Matthew one month and then Luke the next month and then
no. It was like a sci-fi book club, you know, and we're like, you know, talking about it was like a Star Trek or Star Wars. It was the Star Wars ones, you know, yeah, all the books of the Star Wars.
Yeah.
So you're
I
hanging
didn't
with
know
the
there were so many
nerds.
damn chapters. Yeah, I was like just reading all these things, and I was like, and it helped my reading and comprehension get better. You know, like bring back shame. Can we shame people again? They'll read again.
You know, it's
reading
interesting
again.
because I will say this about reading. I struggled with it a lot. I felt like I had to practice 10 times harder than everybody else to get competency and speed. I think this is probably common for everybody. I used to have to use my inner voice when I would read. You guys do that where you look at it and you're speaking it to yourself? It took me years to get past that. And when I got past that, once I realized how to get past that, I would read blocks of letters at a time. I'd start to my brain started recognizing them, and I didn't have to use that voice. It opened up an entire new universe. Just a thought. It's awfully, it doesn't come easy to everybody. Sometimes some people have to work 10 times harder to absorb information. And that's unfortunate, but it just means you have to do it. The reward is 10 times greater.
You know, it's like, you know, it's funny because we have all these, like, we don't have an excuse anymore.
Yeah.
We really don't have an excuse anymore. There's no excuse. You suck at with women, you don't have an excuse. The information is out there and it's free.
Yep.
Like, it's out there. If you are not good at anything, if you don't have the tools that you need to be successful, it's not because nobody gave them to you, nobody taught you. It's because you chose not to acquire them.
That's true. Yeah,
I think that's a tool that needs to be in their belt. Like accountability to yourself. Like, are you able to like look at yourself in the mirror and be honest with yourself and say, hey, my shortcomings in this area is because, you know what? I didn't take that serious.
Yeah.
instead of blaming somebody else.
It's kind of like, man, we had this conversation in beer club. And I won't get into specifics, but someone was talking about how something they couldn't afford something, right? Like it's something's too expensive and stuff. And I was like, look, you pay for what you value, and so maybe this just isn't that important to you, but you're gonna probably pay for video games, aren't you? You're gonna probably buy the latest and greatest video game. But if this was really important to you, maybe you would forego the video game and you would buy this, right? You got to sometimes make choices. So it's with anything else, right? Like, oh, they didn't teach me this. Well, you must have not valued it enough,
Yeah.
And before AJ moves on to the next tool, I also want to add to the whole self-taught thing, because Paul, this probably better than anyone, is I am entirely self-taught in my career. I went from working unemployed, then I worked at a gas station, then I worked at a service desk, then I was a desktop guy, and now I'm a systems administrator. No college degree, no student loan debt.
Mike, you forgot that that summer of stripping.
Well, you were my biggest customer, and I thought that we were going to keep that to ourselves.
Oh, I thought we were having honest hour. My bad.
Yeah. I'm not 100% self-taught when it comes to like IT. I mean, I went to college, but I didn't learn anything about IT in college necessarily. And by the time I started taking classes on computers, I was already working in the business. I did one time, a company I worked for put me through A+ training. So I went to an actual class to learn A+ stuff, but it's one of those things where you don't really learn anything in those classes. What you really learn is studying for the exam, and so that was the only class I ever took for any of my certifications. All the rest, I self-studied for the certifications and just passed those. And then the rest was all on the job. And then like Google searching problems, right? Like learning how to troubleshoot. That the skill of learning how to troubleshoot is something that guys even in the IT space don't fucking have, and it pisses me off.
Yep.
Guys that like they come to me and I'm like, how'd you get this job, dude? You can't even fucking like break down a simple problem and look at it. Okay, let's look at it. How should it work? Okay, what's not working? Like what happens when we click this? It's like I get pulled into things where it's an application or whatever that I've never fucking touched in my life, and I'll figure out how to fix it, because like I've learned how to basic troubleshooting skills. And there's some guys that are like, oh, I don't even know how that program works. Dude, you don't have to.
Yeah.
It's
so true.
Like, how'd you say that? Because like I did the same thing with filmmaking. As an actor, didn't need it. I went it's funny, I went to an acting like school, right? Like it's just like a regular one out here in LA. And I remember the instructor was like, why are you here? You did it great. Oh, you don't need to be here. So then I was like, all right. Then COVID happened. Right. And I was like, I really want to get really good at this. I want to learn production. But there, you know what? COVID happened. Everything's locked down. I just went to YouTube. And then later on, I decided was going to enroll at Full Sail University, which is a filmmaking school. Because I wanted the degree to like, to give me more like credibility. Like, hey, he has a degree. Right. And I remember sitting in the class and the instructor was like, why are you here? You have more experience in the time that you've been in the industry than I do. More than I do in this field, like hands-on, because I've been in the field. I worked as a PA, like a grunt, like the lowest of the low. And I worked all the way up to the first AD, that's the first assistant director. I have written the script. I have directed my own stuff. So it's like, I did it all just trial and error. And watching movies, seeing things in movies are looking, and I just you learn what you want to learn. You don't need to go to a school to learn it. Education is not locked in a classroom. Education is everywhere.
I have a whole chapter on it in my book. What like real education is.
Yeah.
You self-learn it. So I had the same thing, Glenn, where I was already working in the IT industry when I was working on my degrees in network security. And I was one of those guys in the class where I knew everything in the class. I didn't need to be there, but I wanted that piece of paper. Like I wanted the thing on the wall for the resume fodder and shit like that.
Yeah.
That's all it ended up being. Everything I learned was on the job.
Do you like have your like paper degrees like anywhere? I lost mine.
Yeah, I got them up on my wall. up
Oh,
here.
see, mine I didn't really care enough about because I lost them both. I'm like, oh, well.
Oh.
I do.
You know, the one degree that I'm proud of is my PhD. You know,
Piper down.
no, my Pippin Hose degree.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Remember,
Yeah,
he's got an advanced double degree in shit talking. So
That's not double
Let's
speak right there, guys.
let's be sure we shout out one of our favorite moderators here.
yeah,
Welcome, Pearl.
Hello,
Shout out to
Pearl.
her.
Skull.
Pearl's a rabble.
Pearl's in the house.
Rabble rousing Pearl.
Also,
Bless her
since
heart.
we're
Let
on the
me
shout
tell
outs
you
real
something.
fast.
Bless
Hey.
her heart. Yeah.
Low key, Pearl has some jokes, you guys. Pearl got jokes.
Yeah.
Like you think she tells you all the best jokes on live or when she's on her camera. No, she got some jokes. She
I
got some
believe it.
good jokes.
Gotcha.
So what's our next tool, AJ?
I was gonna ask you guys about tools that you think you should have around the house in general,
Let's do it.
Like literal tools.
like literal
Literal.
tools.
Okay.
Which I kind of alluded to earlier.
Oh,
like
look
the-
who fucking woke up today. Oh, hey. Gracing us with your presence.
Before I go into that
Three
part,
Prospect
more
arrived.
gay.
All right. Here's a tool,
Right.
AJ, that people should have.
Huds.
Some people should have the tool called a brush and brush their hair before they come on cam.
Dude, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my hair. I gotta get a haircut. It's
You know
getting
what? They
worse.
should
Why do
have
you-
a fucking watch to know what time.
And the bald
it
guy
is.
has a brush. This doesn't make sense.
Welcome, son.
I learned,
You
and
You know the last
I
one on
learned
the
to wear
DragonShip
a hat.
should take it.
Huds, you should
Yeah.
just wear a hat. People won't ask questions if you wear hats. See,
Yeah.
that's that's
literally
what
right
I-
before I came on
There
live.
we go.
I hopped in the shower and I
What's going on,
cut my
guys?
hair.
Welcome, Huds.
Welcome, Huds. Before we go into the next part about talking about tools, let's ask Huds about what he thinks some core competencies men should have.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the ones right now, the reason why I'm late is being able to deal with anything when it pops up. So I had a bit of an emergency I had to deal with my editing company this morning, and being able to navigate that and rearrange the ship and then send it back on its right path. That is something you need to be aware of. And then also, one of the things we had talked about before is having these guys. Making sure you defend your home.
Oh, he's gonna pull it
Ooh,
out.
yeah.
Oh wow. Oh, he's
Oh,
You like that?
nice.
staying strapped
That was
or
a
get
beautiful
clapped, you know what I
airsoft
mean?
pistol.
I
We
mean, he's in
appreciate that.
Philly. Have you watched the documentaries on Philly and its drug epidemic? It's like if you're not strapped in Philly, you're fucking dumb.
Exactly. Yeah. No, like that was one of the things when I moved here. Like literally, if you go across the street, it is a mess. Like there is just nonstop crime. So I live like right on the cusp of one of the really bad neighborhoods. And that was one of the first things I did was when I moved here is I got I got my concealed carry and got a car gun. And yeah, I actually feel safe now. And God forbid I ever have to use anything, but it's it's a dangerous area.
But well,
Hey,
HUDs, there's having the tool, and then there's getting the version that makes you look like Scarface. What's up with
Well,
that?
that's my for fun one. That's not it's not the
That's
My
what
favorite.
it
Fun.
is.
It's airsoft. Come on.
I just
It
shoot
looks
pumpkins with that. I shoot pumpkins and fruit with that. No big deal. I don't like run down people who are trying to get on my block with that.
Glenn, your mic is fucked.
Was it? Is it the
Oh,
50
HUDs,
AE or the
HUDs.
44, buddy?
What was that?
50 AE or 44?
Yep, it's the 50
Oh,
AE.
he
It
got
has
the
to be.
real deal.
My
Mhm.
my
Hey,
wife
HUDs, is
has
that
the 50 AE.
did you have that out? Remember when we had that one when we did that one episode of breaking news and you had that stranger in your house? You know the one.
What?
You know the
Yeah.
one.
Mm-hmm.
You have that out like, hey man, just so you know.
Yeah. No, I did actually because I had only just like met him. So I
Jeez,
did
long
kind of
story
step
short, HUDs had some random black guy that he'd never even met in a day in his life in his house while we're filming, and we filmed the episode of breaking news with him.
When you are the best dating coach in Philly,
That's true.
Best gay dating coach.
Best gay dating coach. I would say a really good tool to have.
well, what are we doing the tools?
Yeah,
AJ,
yeah,
where we at?
physical
We're gonna
tool
do the
tools.
tools.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
But I was
I
gonna give a
think-
shout out real fast to Elliot and Jason in the chat with Raduku and Jason L. Both good guys. Met them through MLD. So shout out
Dragons.
to them.
Reduco's the shit.
He's a Drakkar.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I'll say a tool that you guys need to have is, you need to have your hammer, your Thor's hammer. That's right. You need to have that hammer. You know what the one I'm talking about, Thor. You know the one. And you have to be able to break down walls sometimes. You have to be able to know how to wield this hammer. This hammer has to be like, you have to be one with the hammer. It has to be like attached to you, literally, in order to be a real hammer. But no, in all seriousness, I think every guy should have an electrical kit. Like, if your electricity goes out or you need to be able to wire something, you should know how to do basic like home remedy stuff. And one thing that seems to be real hard, I always see people like ask people for, is help with electrical work, like little things. And I think that's probably one of the most important things that guys should learn how to do. And we live in a very digital and technological, everything's ran through electricity now. So basic electronic tools and electronic skills is critical in today's day and age.
Okay.
Nice.
That's all I got to say.
How do you
got
go
Fluke
about
114
learning
in my
that
house.
though?
YouTube, or you talk to Thor. One of the two. They're like, I would talk to Thor. He's better than YouTube, but
I got a lot of tools.
yeah, we know.
Nuke, myself, we're all electrical trained.
We got a super chat from Offie Kingdom in the building.
Kingdom.
Oh,
Shout out, brother. I
got
love
it.
the books.
My brother Offie, miss you, pal. Chat soon.
Hey, Offie, I need you to give me a call, man, ASAP.
Offie is the world manosphere book champion.
That's true.
Yes, he is. This is
Like
very
every 2
true.
weeks, a new one. I love it.
And
I think
he's
he broke the Guinness World Records of book writing.
Yeah, and you know what? His books are good. I got some sitting right here.
What's it? I think it's an Interview with a Soul. I think that's the title of the book. That one's
That's
really
his
good.
first
'Cause
one.
It's
Yeah, it's
written
pretty
way
good.
differently than his other books.
Yep. So
I
guys,
can't
back
wait,
to tools you
I
should
can't wait
have.
for his script to come out.
Back to tools we should all have. I was given a philosophy early on. You guys will know about tools. Tools and pretty much anything, especially you military guys. You ever hear the term "one is none, two is one"?
Yes.
Okay, so with that, exactly. And there are very good reasons to use that philosophy, not across tools, but across everything you need. It essentially gives you a backup plan to the initial plan. It even applies to relationships too. Basic tools. Everybody should have a set of basic tools. And when I say tools, enough tools to work around the house. That's for sure. And then you need to expand from there. I mean, your basic tools right now is going to be essentially today, you're going to have a phone. You're going to need YouTube. You're going to start to want to look at do-it-yourself things, a basic toolkit with wrenches, screwdrivers, hammers, knives. All of those things are really important to have for day-to-day use. We talk about the defense side of things. That's another tool, and you can't get these all at once. You need to methodically plan for the tool sets you need, and it depends on your circumstances, and you can have basic tools everywhere. I prefer, having a lot of tools to do a lot of things, including drilling your own 300-foot water well. But that's just me. I like, and you don't have to learn it all from YouTube. I learned how to do that from a book. I wish I would have had YouTube, to be honest. But definitely a good tool set. We all talked about that. I think that AJ talked about having a good wrench set, good socket set, some screwdrivers. Those little electric drills. Having that with a set of drills to make holes, even for the ladies, if you need to make a hole, is super important. Understanding a little bit about the mechanics of your car is important. You don't have to change your tires. You don't have to do any of that stuff, but understanding what that's all about is probably an important thing to do. And if you have daughters, it's really important that you at least give them a base understanding of how these things work so they can stay somewhat educated about the physics around the house and their lives. So that's kind of it, just basic stuff.
Gotcha. Go ahead, Mike. What do you got?
The two biggest ones, guys. All right. The first one is one, and you only need one good chef's knife. One. Because in a pinch, you can use that knife for everything. So you can fillet fish with it. You can cut meat, cut vegetables, fruits. You can do all of that, and you take good care of it, and you can defend yourself with it.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't have your Scarface golden pew pew yet. But
well, why don't you though, Mike? I mean, this is America.
You're last.
I know, honestly, huh?
There's
well,
really no excuse. This is America.
maybe I want to train in hand-to-hand knife fighting first.
Guns are more effective.
They are.
Have you ever heard the saying, "Don't bring a knife to a gunfight"?
Yeah.
But guns are more expensive. Maybe you're just starting out and you can't afford a gun yet, but you can afford a chef's knife. Also, guys, a Ruger.
Get a Ruger, man. You can afford that.
Yeah, I was gonna say a good chef's knife costs more than a high point.
You know what? I'll make a compromise. Have you guys ever heard of the M48 tactical hammer?
Yes, actually, yeah.
Sure.
I know exactly what you're
This
talking
is
about.
Thor's hammer modernized, guys. This can be used in a toolkit, and it is a tool. And it's
Yeah.
one of the most deadly weapons.
I think it's United Cutlery makes a whole line of M48,
Marine.
products, tactical fucking tomahawks and shit. Yeah.
Aside from that, because that's a blade, people look at it, you'll be funny. This is a hammer that could be used in any of those circumstances. It would be absolutely devastating in all circumstances, and you could drive a nail with it. Just let you know.
And the guys, the second thing, a rooter. Okay, you take a massive shit, you clog the toilet. Okay,
Yeah.
you get that in there, you rooter that shit out. There, your toilet's fixed. Oh, disposal's clogged. Get the rooter in there. Disposal's unclogged. The little vent that comes out of your dryer with all that fluff stuck in there, and you don't want it to catch on fire. Take the rooter, go in there, get it all out. A rooter will save you thousands of dollars in home repair.
Funny. Have you ever seen a woman when she backs the toilet up and can't?
Oh, they're so embarrassed.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a plunger.
Quietly.
How did they
Doesn't
know
have a
that?
plunger.
Oh yeah, girl just knocked on my door the other day because she needed a plunger, and I was like,
There
"What
it
happened?"
is.
She's like, "Oh, sorry."
What kind
That
of
looks
plunger?
pretty cool.
There you
Well,
go.
a regular
There's
one,
your
regular
guys.
plunger.
There's your tactical
That's
warhammer.
Let me
Now-
tell you guys a story.
That's-
My dad was a plumber for the city of LA,
Oh god.
right? And every once in a while, he would have to go to like offices and like where they have like the executive suite bathrooms and stuff like that. This one lady's office, my dad had to go. She worked for the city. She had to go in there and see what's wrong with her plumbing. She said she kept on complaining that there's plumbing problems. He snaked that shit out, and there was nothing but condoms in there. Like she was like flushing all these, and he's like, "Well, I think I figured out your problem. You fuck too much."
Hey, so what does your dad do now? Because they're just shitting on the streets in LA.
Yeah, he retired. That's why.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's why they're doing it.
No.
My dad's retired now. But we forgot one important tool, you guys. You know the tool that folds the clothes and then like cleans shit and then like makes.
Oh,
food
but those are
appear?
expensive though.
Yeah, I was
And they
gonna- I
have,
was
yeah,
gonna say
there's a
those
monthly
tools are
subscription.
expensive.
Like
Those
I'm
are
just saying,
monthly
it's a
subscription.
tool. It is a tool.
Are you guys talking about my AI dishwasher?
Yes.
No, but kinda.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? One tool that none of you guys have mentioned yet. Let's see here.
Bring it up.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
you know
talking
what?
about.
That's the
Army,
most
man.
basic. We all overlook it. The most basic every man needs every day.
I never
Good night.
go anywhere without this, and
Insane.
I will actually spend money to check my luggage so I can have my pocket knives with me
Yes,
no matter
sir.
where I fucking travel, because you
Mm.
never know when you need it. I also have one of these knives too.
Oh, I got one too. Yeah.
These also, but at a basic level,
So true.
the standard MacGyver fucking Swiss Army knife.
Yep.
No guy should leave home without it.
Man, that is a big one, Paul. I was given one by my father. And my grandfather. We all had those, and
Mhm.
still do to this day. I think I have a Gerber somewhere that's close, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah, and I always buy the Tinker, right? Because there's a Phillips head screwdriver on it. There's a can opener. There's also the can opener also doubles as a flathead screwdriver. Like there's just all sorts of things that I use these for on a daily basis.
Yep. I think the girls should have one in their purse too. It may not need to be that big, but it's
I make them pink for you
Yep.
ladies.
Yeah.
You mean for HUDs?
And HUDs.
rainbow.
Mine is pink. How did you guys
I know.
know that?
I thought it was raining.
You know,
The lettering,
light
the lettering in the
back.
back.
The sign gave it away.
Yeah, there we
There
go.
you go. Bring that energy to the table.
There you go. That's
Guy with a
beautiful.
Savo round.
Now, like, here's a question for you guys. Now, we know there are all these tools out there, right? And some of these tools are costly, right? You know, some tools they run a little expensive, right?
Yeah.
What, like, so that like that hammer knife that was like what, $50, $59?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like some of these tools that we see that we know they're expensive. Like Thor, I know you're like your garage, you have tons of tools. I know because I played with them. But like that's an expensive.
Whoa. Playing with
Well,
Thor's
not-
tool.
if you guys saw him,
Not
you
that
play with him
tool.
too.
Not that tool. I don't know what you're talking about. That's gay. That's HUD. No. But like some of these tools are expensive. So is there like, do you guys like, let's give them a tool here, how to shop or how to acquire tools, you know, certain tools that you may need, and if you need to be on a budget or economically, you know, like
Workshop.
what do you guys look for in
screwdrivers.
specific tools like that determines whether or not they're of good value, even if they're not a name brand?
Yeah.
I'd say
A
price
single
point
piece of metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if a hammer is one single piece of metal all the way from head to handle, that's a good indicator.
I would say too, look, like Amazon is a
Yep.
great place to get tools because there's customer reviews.
Yep.
Also know what you're going to use them for, right? If you're not going to break up your driveway, you don't need a jackhammer, right? If you're just trying to use a hammer to break up small pieces of cement or something, you don't need a whole jackhammer. Like, make sure you have the right tool for the right size tool for the right job. And realize too that there's a lot of tools that you'll be kind of surprised of how cheap they are. Like, for example, gloves, like stuff like this. You can use them for anything, for when you do yard work, for when you're working on your car, for when you're lifting heavy stuff. You know, a lot of people say like, no, that's not manly to use gloves. But like, once you stub your hand or something, you're done. You can't do anything. Like, I got shit to do. So these are like $10, right? And these, like, you can drop a bowling ball in your hand and you won't barely feel it. So, you know, just like these drill sets are also pretty, or these bit sets are pretty cheap too. This is DeWalt. This is a name brand. So it's like, you know, what's gonna run you the most are like drills, like these.
Milwaukee. Yeah.
Tools, Milwaukee.
This is a DeWalt.
Oh, that's a good
And
one.
also surprisingly, the batteries are expensive for these guys. Like,
Yep.
this little thing is like $60. This little battery, $60. So I would say look for reviews on Amazon for like the best tools. Know what jobs you're gonna do with that tool, and also take care of your tools so you don't have to keep replacing them. Because I have a cool flashlight that goes with this, and it's like my favorite tool because it's magnetic and it sticks on stuff. But I lose it every 3 months, and that's $60 that I have to pay for. No, I
Do
should
you guys
like
look for multi tools, like tools that could do multiple jobs?
Like a 10-in-1?
That can't
Not like a
suck.
10-in-1, but like that has
a risk.
Like I love DeWalt because like one thing with DeWalt, all the batteries could swap out for other, you know, for the same like other tools.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Same thing, like Milwaukee and
like-
Ryobi do the same
yeah,
thing.
like Milwaukee and Ryobi the same thing. But like I have like a screwdriver, like it's a, you know, just a screwdriver that switches out to a socket wrench as well. You know, I didn't just buy a socket wrench and then a screwdriver. I bought one that has like multi-use, you know, like because it's functional.
Yeah,
Well, it's
I
kinda
think
like,
that's the
when you go
most.
to like Home Depot or Lowe's and you're just buying one socket. Say it's like $13 for that one socket. When you can buy a ratchet kit with that socket for like $22. Buy that instead, because you can never have enough. Like I said earlier in the beginning of the show, you can never have.
You
enough
lose that
signal
shit,
to
you're
do
done.
wrenches.
Yeah, you're frustrated for the rest of the day. Yeah.
But here's the thing that I have experienced firsthand. If you're working on like small electronics and little things around the house, then yeah, the screwdriver with the interchangeable heads, that's okay. If you're
Your
working
twig
on a
set.
car, on an engine, no, you want the big fuck off screwdrivers so that head doesn't come off and fall down in your engine. You want the single piece of steel that's not a bunch of little parts that's going to fall apart and break.
Yeah, and figure out what tools you like the most. They're just tools that you always defer to and stuff like that. Like this set has little small flathead little flatheads, but I don't want to dig when I'm working on my computer or something small or something through like to find the right size. So I just say, oh, I'm just going to grab my tweaker. And if you're wearing certain type of work clothes, you could just put the tweaker right here while you're working, have a flashlight work, and then whoop, pull the tweaker out. And then, it's like it keeps your flow state and working on stuff better. So it's like also think about accessibility with your tools. Like, is this something that I have to like dig through my box or I have to put together and all that stuff? Or is it something I could just pull it, tighten, pull it back and go? So,
You know, I would say a tool that
let me throw one up.
Oh yeah.
This is a good one, guys, because I have a story. Chuck the Painter. Fun story that's extremely common for 10, it looks like 10 euros, brother. Hey, my Viking brother, fun story. My dad always buys new tools constantly because he loses his previous ones in his workshop and ends up finding them again months later. Always has a collection 3 times the same thing. So I watch this with my father too. I mostly have this issue with parts for the well, parts for the pumps, things like that. I buy a spare and then I forget I have it. So then I go and buy another one when I need it. So I've actually worked a way around it. When I buy a tool, I always save the old one or keep a backup or refurbish it. And I make a cabinet where all the secondary stuff is. That way, if for some reason I misplace one, which is typically not what happens, it's usually a cleaner or somebody moves something and I don't remember where it's at and I want it right now, I just go to the backup. That's where that 1 is none and 2 is 1 comes in. It's a little bit of an organization thing, but I really, really am touched by that because my dad would lose his stuff too. And then for me, it would be like spare parts, a spare swamp cooler belt, things like that. I would have it and then forget that I actually bought it. And I wouldn't have it. But I actually did. So I ended up with 3 or 4 belts after about 6 years. So that's not uncommon. People do that. So it's just organizational skills.
Yeah. Have a place for them. And whenever you're done with your project, put them back in their place.
And going with a nuke, having like the right size tool for the job, like case in point, my house. I live in a third of an acre corner lot. Push mower is almost unbearable in this Texas heat, but a riding lawnmower would be way too much. So I have one of those self-propelled push mowers to cut it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the Manscaped mower too. You know, it helps cut everything down.
Yeah,
that one.
You got to trim the hedge to make the tree look better. Yeah,
exactly.
Also, don't be afraid to use PPE. You know, like you don't have use your PPE. Like if you're gonna work on your car, use the gloves. Imagine have you guys had this happen where you're like wrenching and all of a sudden it comes loose and you just hit your hand on another piece of metal? You're
slice it right open,
dude. That's
you bust your knuckles.
My hands are all screwed up right now.
Tell us what
just did
PPE
that.
means, dude. I mean, we got an audience here of a lot of folks, the young folks. Too. What is PPE?
Personal protective equipment. This could range from anything from gloves, helmets, condoms, anything to protect yourself. Oh, seriously, condoms count as a
condoms
PPE.
are PPE. Yeah.
Earplugs.
Yeah.
If we go to the range,
earplugs,
eyes and ears on, right?
Yeah. Was it Thursday night on my way home? I stole a rain jacket from work or a rain suit from work because it was thunderstorming and I'm on the motorcycle. So there's my PPE to keep me dry and comfortable while I ride 44 miles back home.
My level 3A vest.
Yep. And, you guys know what's a lifesaver, guys, are those thermal gloves that you can touch hot things with. Put those into your car. Yeah. So if you break down on the side of the road, like, you got to work on the radiator or something on the side of the road, the engine is hot. You put these gloves on, you can touch the engine for like 15 whole seconds before you feel anything.
Yeah.
That's where your mom's cooking mittens went, huh?
Well, and you gotta be. And you gotta have tools for like the weather too, right? Like you need to have something to shovel, like a shovel with, or something. Because in Texas, you live in the Northeast, so you know.
Yeah, I'm just like thinking about that. There's been like 1 or 2 times where I didn't have like a scraper or something to clean off the car, and it is just a mess. Doing it with your hands when you're getting ready for work, like oh my god,
that sucks, man. I grew up in Vermont, so I know all about that. I don't miss it.
Yeah, get that.
Here's a tool that guys need to have that we haven't hit yet. Now, we all cannot necessarily be as great as like Thor and have a gym in his own house, but every man should have a pair of 35-pound dumbbells.
I do have 35 pounds.
That's
You
a
read
good
my
one.
mind.
25 are too light. 35s will give you just enough resistance.
Farmer's walk.
It allows- yeah. And you could do so many different exercises with just a pair of 35-pound dumbbells. You have no excuse to say like, oh, I can't go to the gym because it's too far, or I had work late, or I don't have any gyms, I don't have any equipment in my house. You could get a 35-pound pair of dumbbells, and you could literally do almost a muscle. You can hit every muscle group with those, with just a pair of 35-pound dumbbells.
And the bands too. AJ just put up the bands,
Yep.
If you go to the YouTube, there's some YouTube on RP Thor about those bands, and they are like $24. It'll last you about 18 months, and it works too. If you really want to spend some money, you guys hear of Power Blocks when you're speaking about
Yep.
Yeah, man, you can get
Those are
55
expensive.
pounds
Those
of
are nice.
those, and you've got adjustable depth from 5 to 55 forever. Well, you've seen it
Yep.
in the gym,
Door jam pull-up bar.
Oh,
Yeah,
one
that's
of my
another one.
favorites, man.
I have one of those too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could use that as a clothing rack as well.
Hey, be careful of those because my friend Randall and
Yes.
fellow Dragon, he was
Yes.
using one of those pull-up bars and resistance bands and came down hard on a chair. It was
Yes.
nasty.
Yes.
Well, you do have to be careful. Like, so when I was just getting out of my divorce, I was overweight, and I think I was like 230 pounds when I decided to start losing all my weight, and I ended up looking for a door jam pull-up bar and looking at the weight limits on them, and most of the cheap ones, they have a pretty low max weight, and so I ended up getting like the perfect pull-up fucking door jam pull-up bar because it had the most weight capacity, which was 220 pounds. I had to lose 10 pounds before I was even able to use that
Hit
thing.
the rating.
Yeah, it was bad, but yeah.
Hey, how about this, AJ? How about guys in the chat? You want to start adding some tools that are your favorites? See a lot of folks in the chat. Feel free. We'll mention them at least for a while.
I might buy them too. I might get some too.
Hell, man.
If you want to talk about your favorite tool,
What is this? Are you going to bring up fleshlights again or something?
I didn't say it. You said it. You said it.
Man, you went really hot on your mic.
Oh, sorry.
We could
you
talk
said it,
about
not me.
tools in the bedroom. Oh, I have another
That's
tools in the bedroom works too. I have some suggestions.
Paracord.
Just an old-fashioned
Paracord.
necktie. A good old necktie works really great in the bedroom.
Do you know those things that like they're like a cylinder that you put them behind your headboard and they absorb the impact of like if your headboard.
Oh, I have those.
I don't
in
worry
my
about that 'cause I
bedroom.
live by myself in my own house. So
They're like
I
$20,
want the
$15
sound.
on it. Yeah. So you don't want your headboard slamming against your wall, especially if you live in an apartment and stuff like that. Those will absorb the shock and keep the bed more stable too. So, yeah.
But what if we
I
like
think
the
every
gabum,
guy
gabum,
needs to have
gabum?
a flogger.
Hey.
You need to have a
Flogger?
flogger
Yeah.
handy. Flogger handy, and underneath your bed, they have these straps that could go underneath your bed and go up to the corners of the bed. Those are good for stretching.
Yeah.
Does that go with the tripod?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, get
Um,
yourself a bed frame
GoPro. Buy a
with-
GoPro.
with drawers underneath it. So then you're lying in
Yeah.
bed, you just reach down, open the drawer, reach in, boom, ready.
Yeah. What was the other thing I was gonna say? Oh, handcuffs. You're gonna get handcuffs. Get an extra set of keys, and have
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Have them within arm's reach too.
Yeah. Make sure you have
Complex
a
brings up
secret
some good
place in
ones.
case you meet a crazy chick that locks you up in headphones or handcuffs, and you can't escape. So
And then she starts arguing with you. Oh
Like,
my-
what was it that
By
episode
the
of
trick ones.
that episode of Seinfeld when George Costanza gets locked up and the chick like leaves him and he's stuck there all day? Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
and you're naked and you're just like, what do I do now?
And again, shout out to Jason, you dog. I know exactly where your strap kit and restraint kit is. Oh, Thor, you
Cold
forgot to bring up
Steel's
a
a
very
great
important
brand.
toolkit that you have.
Great brand.
Your bang bag.
Ah, yeah. We'll save that for the paywall, but a good bang bag is very, very useful.
I would say that for the thing.
Thor,
Lighting.
You have an extra fridge, and I want to talk about this.
Yeah.
You
Oh
freezer?
yes, food.
It's actually a freezer.
Oh, freezer.
Yeah.
He preps like he has like meals for like at least a year in there.
No.
Okay, it's not that
Oh,
full.
no.
But it's like, I mean, I have eaten food that he has made 2 months prior, and it tastes just like it's freshly cooked that day. And he has this extra storage, like for food freezer, where you could prep your meals. I mean, it's just smart. He's just smart with it. Like he has it all organized. It's all labeled. It's just, if you have the space, prep your food, and you want to be meal prepping, prep it, store it, put it in the freezer, and it's there. It's good to go.
Oh, dude, that just brought me up to having like an Instapot or a crock pot. I love
Yeah,
the
there you
crap out of my
go.
crock pot.
Crock pots.
man.
Yeah, I fucking hate Instapots. I just I'm not
I
a
have
fan
one.
of them.
I think I've used it twice. I use my crock pot like at least 2-3 times a week.
I have one because some chick bought me one for Christmas, but I've only used it like twice. I much prefer to use my crock pot. It's just easier,
Yeah.
less
And-
complicated.
And people meme on it all the time, but guys, that little chopper, it's like a cylinder with the blades, and you go.
Oh, the slap chop?
Oh, I totally
Yeah,
use
like
it.
that.
Totally use that.
Yeah,
100%.
so fast, so easy.
Yep.
Garlic, onions,
I
tomatoes.
use that for all my preps.
Do you guys have any tools for cleaning stuff?
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
a girlfriend,
I
and
I have a
then I hire a maid.
I have a couple.
Wife, girlfriend.
Wife,
I thought about real
girlfriend,
cleaning, like cleaning
neighbor.
out of your driveway, like and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got a
isn't that what
steamer.
she's supposed to do? No, she doesn't
Damn,
do
dude,
that?
you got them on lock.
I got
Well, I was
videos.
just wondering. I thought they come that way. They don't.
No, but I think that's super important. Like, so I bought a pretty expensive vacuum. I think it was like maybe like $250 back in like 2017, and that thing is a beast, and it goes with me everywhere that I go. So it's worth investing in some of those cleaning supplies because they're not going to break down, and you're going to have them forever,
Yep.
and you have to clean. Like, let's be honest.
Dyson. I got a Dyson.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think one of the best vacuum cleaners I've ever owned, or my parents owned it, was one of those Kirby's or Rainbows. The
Yes.
older guys would know.
Oh, the
ones.
solid steel.
Oh
and
man, you stub your toe
All
on
right.
it, you're done. You got a broken toe, but that thing will suck the dirt from the ground underneath your floor.
I still
Oh,
have
it's
one.
good sucking capability. I gotta
still
look into
have
that.
one.
So I got
They will
two,
not
I got
die.
2 super secret tools that every man needs.
Oh, here we
You
go.
ready? Black & Decker makes this little scrub brush that's powered by 6 AA batteries that will scrub the paint off anything. It's little, it's tiny. You set it by your sink. Cleaning becomes no problem if you're by yourself scraping something. Just clean everything. There, that's a side. That is one hell of a tool right there. So, oh, I got another one too. I'll think of it in a minute. There's another super secret tool for cleaning. I can tell you guys.
Do
think
you guys
it's-
use do you guys use a steamer? I have a steamer that it doubles as a clothing steamer. I use it to like disinfect stuff in my house. Like if I need to thaw stuff out really fast, like in the freezer, if things are stuck. I use it on my toilet. Like, you don't want to, sometimes you just don't want to touch the toilet with your hand. You just steam it. It gets pretty gross because you see all the stuff stuck in between the crevices on your toilet, and it takes care of all of that. It's good for your car too if you're trying to steam clean your car
Yeah.
Nice.
and all
A
that.
good
Also,
one, good brand for that is McCulloch. Get like the MC 1375
yeah.
on Amazon. It's a good steamer.
Also a spot remover, right? Especially if your car, you want to keep your car clean, the ones that you put like a certain clean liquid in, and you just put it over a stain and it lifts the stain. You don't have to pay $200 for someone to come lift it
don't
from
tell
your
'em that.
carpet. Yeah.
Don't
So
tell
if you
'em
have
that.
if you have a good vacuum,
Sorry, AJ. That's AJ's business. Sorry.
That's my jam, dude.
Yeah.
Giving away all my
Sorry, though. What were you
secrets.
saying?
Oh, I definitely have a steamer too, but I just remembered, guys. I mean, every one of us has to do personal grooming. We talked about it earlier, and all that sort of thing. I ran into something 8 years ago that is a tool It's gonna cause you to get belly laughs and have a whole bunch of fun with it. But I saw this interview with George Clooney, and he had used something called a Flowbee for over 25 years, and he was rated the world's sexiest man by using this thing for hair cutting called a Flowbee. And of course, I was going to the barber, I was spending the money, doing the whole social thing, and then when the wife's a cosmetologist, so she would also cut my hair and do all that stuff. But when she got hurt, she couldn't do it anymore, and it was real expensive to go to the barber. I started looking at this Flowbee, and I was shocked at how much these damn things cost. They were like made in the 80s, and there was this big thing about this vacuum attachment that would suck your hair out and cut it. It sounds absolutely ridiculous.
Yo, throw up a photo of this thing.
It's so freaking ridiculous. And I said, well, you know what? They're charging these things new like over $400, and used ones can go, anywhere underneath. The prices are insane. And if I looked up Amazon, the results and people's comments, and I was shocked at how many people were using this thing. So I bit the bullet and I bought it, and I was shocked at how good the damn thing does for just your basic haircut. Of course, you got to get guides around the edge, but I was shocked at that George Clooney was dead right, and he'd used it for 30 years. And if you look at any of the commercials around Flowbee, I think Saturday Night Live did some skits on it. It just destroyed their credibility as a device, but it's really quite brilliant. It sucks your hair out like a barber would, and then there's these little blades that cut it off on the guide, so you can never make a mistake. It's shockingly good tool to save you money in the long run.
Looking at that photos give me freaking PTSD flashbacks to boot camp.
Isn't that strange?
Oh, this is what they used to shave our heads at boot camp, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Wasn't
it looks like
it
they
is.
shaved our heads with.
Yeah, because they got to do like 1,000 men a day.
Yeah,
It's kind of the private version of it.
In the Navy they had vacuums attached to clippers. I remember that, so that it would just keep the hair from hitting the ground. But
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
so it was slightly different than a Flowbee. Flowbee sucks you have longer hair
Yes.
or whatever, it sucks it up.
Longer guys.
Whoa.
You know what? Well, I'm
And
surprised.
you can see the interview with Clooney. He was dead serious. You can still see it on YouTube. It's like, I've used this for years. Crazy.
Well, and
I'm
here's something.
surprised
Guys.
you didn't mention a tool that you have and you take everywhere with you. One of these guys, these power banks. Thor takes two with
Hey,
him
there we go.
everywhere he goes. He has two fully charged power banks with him, and they're like 3 times the size. You can power a whole house with this power bank. But no, there's a smart. You know everything
If
you
you're
utilize is on electronics, so you got to have a power bank with you, especially when you travel.
One thing that I want to bring up, because I know we were talking before, like IT stuff. So one of the things that I did is I got essentially one of those computer bags where it slots into the back, but I don't know what the difference is about it, but the way that it's shaped, you can pack so much crap into it, and it's got all the compartments to put your power banks, put your cords, have organization. And I literally travel, like, it's a little bit different than Paul because Paul wants to bring his pocket knife. I travel with literally one backpack, and I could be good for like 5 days. That's how much that I can fit into it, and I have all my electronics.
Nice.
And here's one, guys, that I really, really love. I've had this thing for 10 years. 10 years, okay? This is the oh, doggone it. Is it gonna do the thing where
It's
just
doing
put
the
it in
thing.
front of you.
yeah.
Green screen,
It's
yeah.
this is the Norelco Series 7, Philips Norelco Series 7000. And check this out. So you got the 3 guards for hair, face, and body that go onto the standard clipper. Watch this.
Is that a nose clipper?
Yep. So then, now I
yeah.
can do my nose and my ears. Oh, and watch this. Now I can do my face.
My balls. Now I can do my
well,
balls.
Yeah,
Landscaper.
now I can do my face. This thing is water resistant. You can take it in the shower with you. I've had it for 10 years. The battery is still good, and it was $70 10 years ago. So just get the current version of this, guys. You will kill it.
Yeah.
Don't buy the Remington. The battery sucks.
Hey guys, I got a tool that I don't think we listed yet. You know that like Karen neighbor that you always see that's always like nagging and bitching at you, and you just like feel like her husband's life must be miserable.
Yeah,
And the
shotgun.
next time she wants to talk to you, and you're outside checking your mail.
Yeah,
She's always out there.
yeah.
I have the best tool for you.
Awesome.
What you need to do
Let's hear it.
is wear one of these.
Oh God.
Shout out to
This
Pearl.
tool right
Yeah, we all
here
just got
will
banned.
save you from having a conversation with a dumb woman, or it might start a conversation with a woman. Either way, it works.
Happy International Women's Month, everyone. Brought to you by Glenn
There we
Moore.
go. And the final tool.
Yeah.
We're all tools, aren't we?
Guys, we got 220 viewers right now. Nuke is doing most of the heavy lifting. Thank you, Nuke, for bringing all your ex-followers into here.
Hey, that my pleasure. They know that this is quality and this is quality stuff. So
Nuke, I saw that post that you put out there.
which one?
I heard
Which
what you
one?
Which one?
that what you're gonna,
Which-
what you're gonna do if they got 500 people in here. I heard what you did. We're not going OnlyFans, okay? Stop it.
Damn it. Damn it.
Ass and bio.
Yeah, exactly.
Bio
in
and
terms
ass.
of in terms of computer stuff too, guys, this is sort of my industry. Getting a UPS is probably a good idea, an uninterruptible power supply.
yeah.
So if like in the middle of a storm or something, the power knocks out, you still have internet. You can connect it to your internet modem and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Anything that continuity of power is important, especially in storms, especially in when you really need power. Let's say you have kids and you need to keep your house cool or something like that. Anything that gives you so having a good generator, having a good power banks, batteries, all that stuff. Because like you may live in an area where the weather's good, but like there's always that possibility for an outage. Like in 2021, Dallas or North Texas had that big freeze, and there were people freezing to death because they just weren't prepared for those conditions, right? So it's like I personally will always want to buy a house with a fireplace if I live anywhere where it freezes. I want to have like different tools and things that keep me warm and continuity of power in my house, right? And all that. So I think speaking from an electrical standpoint, I'm 100% Thor will agree. AJ will, I mean, everyone will agree. Anything that can help you keep that continuity power in your house. That way, if the power goes out, you have time to react and shut things down and have, and grab your lights and stuff like that. So I highly recommend an UPS for stuff like that too.
Like even all
Awesome.
your servers, like YouTube, Meta, X, all their servers, they're all supplied clean power, as we call it in the industry, by UPSs because utility power is dirty and everything. So if that utility ever goes down, there's about, when you have a UPS for a data center fully loaded, 1 meg typically, you have about 10 minutes of battery, and that's enough time to get the generators on the bus to back it up.
Yeah. Or for the power to come back. So
That's actually a really good thought, and it's more accessible today than before. 16 years ago, I built my own power wall and completely on grid, off grid. It was quite a challenge, but it was also a hobby at the time to design, and I had a guy that wanted to do it with me. But now it's very, very accessible. The one thing I would caution everybody against, because this is how you get into trouble, leasing, financing it. I know that it's an easy way to get there, but it's just delaying. I mean, you're not going to earn anything in the end. You're going to get hit pretty hard. So if you're going to stick around for a few years, it's super worth it, like Nuke said. But be sure and look at the numbers too. I've had too many friends look at what I did and then go finance it and be on the bad end of it.
yeah. I would say
that.
there's like Tesla batteries now.
Yes.
There's and also like a generator enough to keep your family warm, or like the food from spoiling over like maybe 1 or like 3 days,
Oh, they make really good generators now that are dual fuel, even triple fuel.
Yeah. So that's good, and have extra fuel. And then, if you want to have extra, like my dad had a water tank built on top of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So, we use gravity, and then we'd have water whenever the water went out. So, I'm all about preparedness and stuff like that. I should be more prepared, but I think continuity of power is nice to have when everyone else is shut out. Especially also continuity of like heat or air conditioning or whatever you need.
Yeah.
So.
Here's a good one for you. If you can get your hands on it, and they're a dime a dozen in the junkyard, get yourself a Mark IV generation Volkswagen ALH TDI engine, 1.9 liter, hook it up to a generator or an inverter and run it that way. That engine will literally run on friggin'
Anything.
used motor oil,
Yep.
vegetable oil, everything. If
Yeah.
you have a night like Mike did last night, his piss could power that engine.
That's a fun project right there, actually. Not his piss, but the engine.
Damn, Mike.
How do you know?
Get Mike some sandwiches right now. Get him some sandwiches.
Give me
That's
some
true.
protein.
There's no experience there, so you may be right.
But yeah, if you can figure out how to hook up a generator or inverter, like shaft driven one, to a say an 01 Jetta ALH TDI, you're good. Just friggin' save your used motor oil and run that as your generator fuel.
There you go. That's a use for those stupid seed oils. Dump them in there.
Literally, it gets some of the best
Something
gas mileage
useful.
when you run pure vegetable oil through it.
So we got some guys. We got a wrap here, AJ. So go ahead,
Mike.
and
Let's
wrap
start
us-
with you.
Oh,
Let's start with you, Mike. Let's start with you.
I was not intending to segue like that, but guys, the ultimate tool is in here. This is the tool that no one can take from you. This is the tool that doesn't break and only gets better with time, but only if you take good care of it and only if you sharpen it and hone it. Your body may break, but you have your mind, and the man that you are is up here. So take care of this, level this up, and this is the greatest tool you will ever have, and it will never let you down.
Well said. Well said.
Well said, man. Let's give a shout out to Shock the Painter. Real fast before we go to Glenn. $2 super chat. Citroen C15 car. That shit is unbreakable.
We can
French
drive,
engineering.
we can
that a
drive
challenge?
across. We can drive across the field, and a basket of eggs will not break. That is what they say. Yes. Oh.
Get the baguette and the white flag.
You're sounding like Laurent now.
Glenn, final thoughts, where we can find you and all that good stuff.
Well, all the final thoughts are the ones at the strip club, so they're the final ones for sale. You guys can find me on my channel. I'm going to be rather busy this upcoming week. I'm not going to say what per se, but it's going to be really fun. It's going to be a good busy time. Stay tuned. I'm going to have some stuff coming up. I'm going to do some do another show later on today on
Boobs? Oh, women. I thought you meant like
yes,
body.
yes,
parts.
International Women's Month.
Chairs.
I think this is gonna be a fun one. Anybody that's on the DragonShip want to hop on, it'll probably be an hour or two after this. But if any of you guys want to hop on, it's gonna be fun. A lot of tongue in cheek and talking about them women's in a good way.
Yes.
So it's gonna be fun. Other than that, tomorrow, me and Thor, we got some stuff we're gonna do. It's gonna be fun. Do a workout and maybe a trident.
I'll wear my helmet.
Which one?
The fall helmet.
Oh.
It'll all be good.
Paul.
Tune into my podcast Monday. I'm going to be live. I'll be revisiting Rolo's 9 Iron Rules as a refresher for some of you and for new guys coming into the space. Other than that, get my book, guys. If you have an Audible subscription or a Kindle subscription, consider using your next credit on my book. And if you want an autographed physical copy, you can order those directly from me. I'll drop a link to that in the chat here.
Gotcha. Nuke.
Guys, shows 7 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays. Talk about red pill topics, dating, and all that stuff. And all that. And then tomorrow we have Post Zero with the guys. We're gonna talk about what was it we were gonna talk about? How to be alone. Alone time, how to learn to be alone as a man and value your alone time and use it wisely, right? So we'll be talking about that tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central. Guys, follow me on Patreon. I just dropped a new article or a new essay on Patreon. And my final thoughts are as such. Like I said before, the information you have the Library of Alexandria in your pocket. Use it wisely. You can use it to destroy yourself, right? Or you can use it to make a better life for yourself. So the choice is yours. If you choose to use it to make you angry or for sedations all the time, right? then you wasted this opportunity. There's a lot of people in history that wish they had the power you have. So use it wisely and all that stuff, and have the right tools for the right job. And that's all I have. I got to go, guys. So thank you.
Thanks, Nuke.
Thanks, Nuke.
Thank you, Duke.
And then Huds, thank you again for that beautiful beautiful thumbnail we have in the background. Appreciate
Yes,
it, man.
Absolutely. You look very dapper. So
Thank you.
my final thoughts in this whole thing, don't wait to fix your problems. We have these things happen, like your car breaks down or power shuts off, or you have a leak or something that you have to take care of. It's better to, there's a reason why they always said, always be prepared, like in Boy Scouts. It's the truth. It's the truth. So make sure that you're always learning about this type of stuff. There's a lot of great suggestions that came through on this show. So definitely, look into some of those things. That's really it with that. Don't wait to be prepared. And then where you can find me, best place is Instagram. You'll see some of my content there. If you want to reach out for dating coaching or have any questions, go ahead and hit me up. And then I'll put announcements for other shows and things that I'm doing through that.
Copy. Thank you, Huds. And then I'll go real fast and hand it over to the man of the hour, Thor. So with me, I think we said it all very well in this show. Tools, because I grew up kind of like poor, so I kind of learned how to distinguish certain tools, and everything is a hammer, guys, to me. But one piece of knowledge that I would like to give everyone is learn your metric to standard conversions, like your 9/16, 14 millimeter, 7/16. I think that's like, I think that's 11.
Can they get a
5/8, 8
table
mil
to start with?
Yeah. 3/4 19, 11/16, 17, like that kind of stuff. Understand that, and if you're missing a tool, like most cars nowadays or most things nowadays are metric. If you're missing something, you can quickly think of the standard equivalent and go in there. And no, 10 mil and 3/8 do not match, even though they are close. So that's why I say always buy as many 10 mils as you can. Other than that, you guys can reach out and find me. All my links right there: IG, X, YouTube, Arms, the Gmail account. If you guys have any questions about detailing or tools, feel free to hit me up on any of those. And with that, Thor, it's all yours.
Hey, thank you. You guys want me to take us out today too? I can certainly do that.
Yes, please.
You can find me at becomedurable.com. Of course, after you use your audio credit to listen to Paul's book, which is a fantastic book, take a look at my book too, A Dominant Masculine Presence. I think you guys will find definitely value there, particularly with the 7 skills of a dominant masculine presence. Once again, I appreciate all you guys here on the Dragon Ship, and I will do my best to get to as many of these as I can in the coming weeks, and even hopefully more in the future. Let's get somewhere and take us out. And gentlemen, until next time on the Dragon Ship, Skull.
Ready to upgrade your dating game? Introducing Paul's ultimate online dating course for men. Master the art of online dating and discover Paul's genius method to meet amazing women off the apps. The real secret sauce? Discover how to leverage Facebook and Instagram to meet amazing women in your local area. Not all hot women are on dating apps, but every woman on the planet is on social media. Learn how to find and connect with them with this revolutionary course. Say goodbye to swipe fatigue and hello to meaningful connections. Ready to transform your dating life? Click the link in the description now and start your journey to success today.